Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm filming a very exciting video. We are gonna be trying my worst makeup of 2020. We're gonna put it on my face. We're gonna give it a redemption. This is like Survivor, okay? So I'm gonna put it all on my face. We're gonna give it one more chance to redeem itself. Maybe there will be some light at the end of the tunnel. We don't know, but I have 10 plus products that I really did not love this year to play with. I've got a lot of eyeshadow palettes. Are any of you surprised that the most fails are in the eyeshadow palette category? I think not, but if you guys are excited to see this video, then just keep watching. Before I get into it, before I slap makeup on, I want to say this video is a collaboration with one of my dear friends here on YouTube, Angelica. She was talking about what to post on Christmas, and she came up with this idea, and I was like, can I collab with you on that? And she said yes, so I'm like, yay! But we've been friends for 2+ years now, and it's been so fun. We didn't get to meet this year, but I got to meet her twice last year. I still treasure those memories because travel in 2020, not the theme. So anyway, without further blabbering, let's get into the video. Don't forget to check out Angie's video. I will link it down in the description box. And if you guys are coming over from Angie's channel, welcome. My name is Karen Harris. I like to film tan girl friendly makeup videos here on YouTube. So I would highly suggest subscribing to my channel because let me tell you, 2020 was lit and 2021 is going to be even more lit, okay? So let's get into it. Okay guys, I made a basket of my stuff so I don't forget anything. I also grabbed the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion because I actually keep all of my eye primers like very close to me when I film, and I must say I don't love this one. My favorite is the P. Louise base. I know P. Louise isn't everybody's favorite brand right now, and I totally understand that, but it just works so well for me that I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna shade P. Louise on the eye primer. Some of their other stuff, very questionable, but I do like the eye primer, so I am going to use the Urban Decay one because, in my opinion, it is probably one of the worst eye primers on the market and in my collection, so that was step one. Now, as far as eyeshadow palettes go, we have a lot of contenders for the worst eyeshadow palettes. The first bunch of palettes I want to show you guys are these ones. Anybody remember these from ColourPop? This was the collection they launched right after they kind of came out of quarantine, and it was like a pastel collection, and apparently I was missing ColourPop this year, so I went ham and bought all 3 of these palettes. So this is In a Trance. I have Miss Bliss from ColourPop, and this is what it looks like, and then the last one is called Aura and Out. And this is the pastel like green theme palette. I think ultimately I will end up decluttering these, but I had to feature them in this video because let's be real, they were so ashy on me. And I believe in the video where I tested them, I was wearing a white eye base. I was wearing the white P. Louise base. But I think my conclusion is I'm not the biggest fan of pastels, like truly white pastel shadows are not my cup of tea. So I think these were kind of at a disadvantage to begin with. But if I had to recommend like a pastel palette for my skin tone, I prefer the Glam Light Ice Cream palette. So I would go more that route instead of these ones. But you know what? ColourPop has a great price point. And if you're a lighter skin tone, I think you could make these work. So these are, yeah, one of my worst products of 2020. For the palette I want to use on my eyes today, this I'm still traumatized by. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I've only used this palette once, and it was on a live with Britt Clark, and I never mentioned this palette on my channel again because I was so disappointed. You guys don't understand. I'm such a Colored Rain stan. I was so excited that they were launching a new palette, so I grabbed this one right away, and then me and Britt got them in the mail the same day, so I went live on Britt's channel. We did a swatch party, we did an eyeshadow look, and I would say I don't know if I hated this one more than Brit did. I know Brit's used this palette since, but I have not because I just wanted to curl into a ball and kind of cry about it. So this is going to be the palette I'm going to use today. I'm so scared. Should I put on a white base? Like, I don't know, but we're gonna try. The other thing too that I should mention is Angie and I discussed that we are gonna actually try and make these things work. So I'm gonna try my best. I'm not gonna put too many shades on my eyeballs. I'm gonna try and keep this simple, but I'm gonna try and make it work. So I'm gonna attempt to use the green, and I got this Rougher 01 brush. It's like a packer, but it's also like a blender brush. So I'm going to start off with this green shade called Kale Yeah. I'm going to put this on the outer corner, and I'm going to pack instead of trying to blend, and hopefully that'll help, because with the way these eyeshadows are made, I think they might be better as a pack versus a blend type. So I'm going to try. I don't love to do my makeup like this, but for the sake of this video. So if I do this properly, this video is going to go live on Christmas Day. You guys will definitely have to let me know what your plans are for the holidays. Are you kind of social distancing, staying home, maybe doing Zoom calls for Christmas this year? I actually am planning on just enjoying the time at home with my dad, who's stuck here because of the Rona. He came to visit, hasn't been able to get a flight back home yet. So I am so excited because this is the first time in like a long time that I've gotten to spend Christmas with at least one of my parents. My mom's still home. So if you're feeling bad about the holidays, just know that my mom is stuck in Sri Lanka without her husband, my dad, for the last like year basically, because he got here in February and he hasn't been able to leave, and she's been by herself pretty much out there, and he's here. So I don't know how they're managing, but they've been married for like 37 years, so I'm assuming that you know, distance makes the heart grow fonder. So maybe they're looking forward to reuniting. I'm not 100% sure, but I know things are pretty bad in some parts of the world with the virus, so I'm hoping that the vaccine helps people kind of get back to their normal lives. So this color, it's very dark. I definitely went in bold, and I'm trying to really not blend too much. And this brush is working pretty well. This is definitely more work than I'd want to do with the eyeshadow palette, but you know what? We're gonna give it a chance. We're gonna give, everybody gets at least 1 or 2 chances, you know? Especially eyeshadow palettes. I feel like I hate the shape I've created on my ends, but you know what? I should have used, oh my gosh, I need to use these. I have these and I bought them because I was so curious, but I never used them. Like, what's actually wrong with me? Like, I spent money. Ooh, I've never used these. I bought them. Now we're in business. Now we can just go balls to the walls. Just kidding. I feel like I'm gonna look crazy. Oh my god, this is so fun to use these. I'm definitely just packing. I'm not doing any blending really. Okay, so I just dusted off my brush. Now I'm gonna go into the shade Mint Leaves, which is like this lighter green. And then I'm just gonna tap that on to kind of soften the edges. See, stop blending, Karen. Stop trying to blend. Just pack, just pack. This is not how I like to do my makeup, but at least it's working. I'm just patting on the matte lighter green, and then I'm going to put on a shimmer shade over top. I'm going to go into Lemon Wheatgrass, which is the golden shade. I want to use that on my lids. I'm just going to use a glitter glue that I like because I'm scared. So I'm going to use this e.l.f. one. This is so cheap. And I got this at Target. So I'm just going to tap that on. I like to do one lid at a time because glitter glue kind of dries really quick. It lifts up your eyeshadow, so I'm going to go into Lemon Wheatgrass and I'm going to stamp it on as fast as I can. Oh my gosh. Such a pretty color. Ooh. I love a good golden flaky shade. I think the glitter glue definitely helps. So I'm just going to take that brush and blend the edges a bit. Don't get me wrong, it still looks like a hot mess, but at least it's something. I look crazy. Should I take these off? Is it time? I don't know. What am I doing? Ow, 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 ow. Very drag. Can I use these again? Is that weird? I don't hate it. It was better than the first time I used it, so I'll give it that. But now I'm going to clean up under my eyes and I will be right back for the next step. Okay, so I actually realized I had another worse product I want to mention while I was cleaning up my under eyes, and that's these Kirkland wipes. I love me some Costco, but I swear these wipes, I've bought 2 boxes of them because my friend Britt Clark always recommends these, but I actually use wipes on my face. And for some weird reason, these are like way too saturated for me. They're so wet, which you'd think is a good thing, but I feel like in this case, it's not a good thing. So I would highly caution you, and whatever the ingredients are in here, they get a little stingy on my eyes, which I don't have sensitive eyes. So just wanted to mention that to you guys in case you're wondering. I really like the Neutrogena ones. I know different people have different opinions about wipes, but I like to have them on hand. Maybe someday I'll switch over to something else, but I've tried the makeup eraser, you guys, and I am not a fan. I like my Green Clean Cleansing Balm from pharmacy. I love using that, but I don't know. I just can't get the makeup eraser or the halo to work for me, so it is what it is. Okay, so those are really bad makeup wipes. Please note to avoid them. Now for another worse makeup product, it is the Flower Get Real Serum Foundation. I picked this up actually over Black Friday because Bailey Syrian had mentioned this in her Instagram stories, and she's like, I really hated the Kosas tinted face oil, which I felt personally attacked by because you guys know Kosas tinted face oil is like one of my favorite things from 2020. So I was like, oh, yeah, this bitch thinks the Flower Beauty Get Real Serum Foundation is better than the tinted face oil for dry skin, which I have dry skin. So I purchased it, and I must say, I really don't like how this makes my skin look. And I couldn't get the pump to work at first. It works now. I don't know why I was unscrewing it there, but let me give it a shake. Let's put it on my face, and I will tell you guys what I didn't like about this. And what I didn't like about it is I felt like it emphasized every single little bit of texture on my face, which I don't even have a lot of texture, so that was a little scary. I'm gonna use a brush because that's how I use the Kosas tinted face oil. What I think I'm going to do this time around, just to see if I can make it work, is to use less product, because when I first used this, I did feel like I used a lot of product because I'm like, I want to cover up all my imperfections. So I know with the Kosas, what really works is that I don't use as much product as I do with like a full coverage foundation. So I'm trying to use less product. This is like very light coverage. I can definitely still see every imperfection on my skin. It's a very glowy and dewy. So if you want like a glowy product from the drugstore, this might be it. I think this would work really nicely if I mix it in with something else. Like, I think I need a little bit more coverage from this than what it gives me, which is weird because I swear with the tinted face oil, I feel so flawless. So anyway, this is the next product that I wanted to mention in this. And just so you guys know too, this is a medium buildable coverage, and it says it's a natural radiant finish, which I agree with. Yeah, it just says it's for natural looking skin, hydrating properties, weightless formula, and a bunch of other stuff. So I usually like a lot of my Flower Beauty stuff, but I was unpleasantly surprised with this foundation. So I had to mention it in my worst of 2020 video. Okay, the next product I want to mention is the Kosas concealer. This is called the it doesn't say, but it's the Kosas concealer, and I have been loving Kosas this year, you guys know, but I don't love this concealer. I wouldn't say it's the worst concealer I've ever tried, but you guys know I've been using that Kevyn Aucoin concealer the last couple of months, and it's been so amazing that I feel like I could throw all my other concealers away. But yeah, I like a lot of Kosas stuff, but this product I would not recommend. I don't feel like it's very long lasting. It's definitely more of a very, very light coverage, and it doesn't, I don't know, it's like so dewy. I don't know that it's like the right concealer for me, but I thought I would mention it to you guys in case you've been wondering about the Kosas concealer. And if you have like makeup preferences like me, I just want to give you guys a heads up so you don't spend your money and end up like hating my recommendations, or like if I showed this concealer and you guys were like, oh, I wonder if Karen likes that concealer. Well, now you know. It's not my favorite, and I don't feel like it's very long lasting, whereas the Kevyn Aucoin one, definitely like one of my favorites from 2020. So this one I definitely regret buying. Okay, the next product I want to use is the Ambient Lighting Infinity Powder from Hourglass, and I don't think this is the worst powder of 2020, but I feel like for the price point, see like this, oh, there's like a big gash now from when I itched my face. It just doesn't do anything for me coverage wise, whereas the Kosas I feel like still dries down. It doesn't stay oily even though it's called a tinted face oil. So anyway, this powder, I don't know, I just feel like I can see a visible difference on my friend's skin when she uses this, but I feel like for me, I'm like, I don't know that this powder was worth the $50 something price tag. So just wanted to mention this. I don't hate it. It's not the worst product, but might not be worth the money. And I kind of want to highlight random products that I don't think are like the best money I've ever spent in this video, because I thought that would be kind of fun. And then, okay, here's a product that again is one of the worst products I tried in 2020. This is the e.l.f. Instant Lift Eyebrow Pencil. I wanted to get into eyebrow pencils, and I figured let me get some e.l.f. because it's so affordable. But the thing with this pencil is that it is very, like the point, it's so thick. Like if you want a skinny, like if you want to mimic like lash strokes, like it's gonna be really hard for you to do. I don't know if you can like sharpen this, but like it's such a thick like pencil that it doesn't, it's like really thick lines. So I would just keep that in mind. Sometimes, you know what, you get what you pay for, and I feel like this is great for like thickening up my brows, but like it's so waxy and it's so hard to do like lines. My brows are about to look jacked. Oh my god, I like totally just missed like a whole section right here. So I don't think it's like impossible to make it work, but like listen, look at this like line. It's just not, it's not cute. But I'm gonna use my Essence brow stuff. I love this stuff. It's so good. It's cheap, and honestly, I feel like this is all my brows really need. Honestly, I feel like that's all my brows need. I've decided like for 2020, I don't need to like draw in my brows. I have plenty of brow hair, so I'm just gonna give it a bit of brow gel, and I'm gonna let my natural brows do their thing. No longer will I be trying products like this because I really don't think it helps me with the amount of brow hairs I have. I really don't need something like this, so definitely gonna be decluttering this. Okay, so the next worst product of 2020, I had to bring out the blush. You guys know I tried out a lot of cream products this year, and the blush, oh my lord, I was just traumatized when I used this the first time, so I'm just gonna use it one more time. I feel like this is the best way to use it, is to just put it directly on my skin and then just take a little blending brush. I use this brush with all my cream stuff, so I don't know why I didn't love this, but I feel like mostly the first reason is the color. I feel like if I had tried a different color, maybe I would feel a little bit differently about this product. But oh my god, I swear, it just makes me feel and look like I have such jaundice going on. So this might just not be the product for tan skin. I'm going to try it differently on this side. I'm going to put it on the brush and see if that makes a difference in how it applies. I really look like a fruit basket now with the with the green and the orange. This is a pineapple inspired look from Karen Harris for the holidays. Don't you guys love it? Yeah, this one I think it's more of like a color that I don't love, but definitely one of my least favorite cream blushes of 2020. So I want to talk about two products I don't actually have anymore. The first one, which was, oh my gosh, one of the worst products I tried this year. The Melt Millennial Pinks palette. I hated that palette so much. I actually sent it back because I thought it was a dusty, crusty mess. And I would not advise any of you guys to purchase it. I will try and remember to leave the video where I did the first impressions down in my description box. So in case you're thinking of getting it, I would highly suggest not wasting your money or getting it on a really good sale. I know some people love to collect every palette from every brand. I totally get it. But I feel like that one is one you can definitely skip. And then the other Melt palette, this one I actually kept because I'm a fool. And I thought, oh, it's such a pretty color story, And honestly, this one came out right after the Millennial Pinks and I didn't want to send back two palettes to Melt, so I kept this one like the fool that I am. And I honestly really dislike this palette as well. Again, I try to warn people, like, I know that it's so easy to fall into the hype and collect these palettes from Melt because let's be real, some of Melt's palettes are a hit, like their new Beetlejuice palettes. I really like those. I love She's in Parties from 2020, but this one and Millennial Pink were such disasters. The packaging is so cute on this, but oh my gosh, it was so hard to work with, so hard to blend. Again, I would love to give this one another go on my channel, so let me know. But today I wanted to use the Juicy Boost, so that's why I included the Juicy Boost as my eye look. But so far this video has been really fun because it's definitely making me either second guess myself or be like, gosh, there's a reason I hated this the first time, the second time, the third time. I definitely don't need to hold on to these products, and I want to let my friends know that they're awful. I just have to do that. Okay, the other product I don't have with me that I feel like was definitely one of the worst products of 2020 was the Wayne Goss blush in Dahlia something. So I haven't been like the biggest fan of Wayne Goss's makeup collection that launched this year, and when I saw the blushes I was really intrigued because I thought he had some really fun color combinations. And of course I had to go again balls to the wall and I bought the like the bright pink with the like almost white highlighter, and I got it and I was so excited because I thought it was such a different color for me. And then when I put it on my face, oh my gosh, I got comments from you guys like politely being like, are you okay? Like, you definitely look like you effed that up, for lack of better terminology. You definitely look like you got hit in the face with I don't know, something really pink, and like the blush was just everywhere and it just looked so awful. And like, granted, I could have probably maybe used a little bit less, but I like to have blush from here all the way back, and that's just how I like to do my blush. And I know some people place their blush differently. I feel like I have nice little like apples, so I want to put blush on them, okay? So therefore I just went ham, put it all over the place, and I hated it so much that I was like, you know what, for this price point, not my favorite thing. So I did end up getting rid of that. So I don't have the Wayne Goss blush on me, but I feel like my honest review of that blush was that it was very hard to blend. Once you put it down, it was really impossible to like manipulate it and diffuse it. It was very pigmented. So maybe I would try a different color. But personally, this year was so heavy on blushes, I really can't convince myself that I need to go back and buy some more. So I just wanted to mention that as definitely one of the worst products I tried this year as well. Oh my god, look at me, I'm such a ray of sunshine. So the next worst product of 2020 for me is this eyeliner. I picked this up. When did they launch this? It was part of a collection. What is that one called? The Weird palette, the Wired palette. This green eyeliner came out with that, and I was so excited because, listen, I love me some fun colored eyeliner pencils, especially like a green like this. I don't really have one from Urban Decay, so I was so excited. But honestly, I don't love the pigmentation of this liner. I feel like for the price point, it's very mediocre. I could get this from like a ColourPop eyeliner pencil for like half the price. This particular pencil I don't feel like is very tan girl friendly. So it's one of the worst eyeliners I tried this year, and I would 100% avoid it and not spend your money on it. I feel like it could have been a little bit more pigmented. Like this pencil, like this color is what I wanted, and I didn't get it, and it doesn't stay very well on my lower lash line or anything like that. So for that reason, worst eyeliner of 2020 for me. Okay, so I'm going to finish up my lower lash line. I'm going to use this green again, Mint Leaves, with this rougher. This is the 03. And I'm just going to, again, I'm just going to pack it. I don't want to blend, but all of my foundation is basically like already breaking up on my face, which is really annoying because I literally haven't moved from before. I'm not a fan of this makeup look. I'm really trying to like it, but I don't love it. Okay, so let's put some of this lemon wheatgrass in the inner corner. Ooh, I do like this glitter. I know that a lot of people had mentioned it wasn't their favorite, but with the glitter glue, it kind of sort of works. So let me talk about my next worst product. This quad from Nomad was supposed to be like a multi-chrome, but these shadows are pressed so hard. This is definitely in my declutter pile. I like pulled it out to show you guys in this video, but like maybe like they're duochrome, I would say at most, but like look at that pigmentation. It's so like tightly pressed that it's so hard to get out of the pan. And I'm just so bummed because I was expecting so much more from Nomad with this launch, and I feel like it was really not that good. So I like really never talked about it again. They do have some other products that I really like, but this Studio 54 quad is a pass for me. Okay, so I don't really have like a worse highlighter or a worse bronzer, really. I started off not really thinking that the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer was worth it for me, but when I used it in the winter time, it really worked for my skin, so I'm really happy about that because in the summertime, I was really enjoying like my Kosas bronzer, my Tower 28 bronzer, so I thought I had picked up a dud with the Charlotte Tilbury one, but it actually turned out to be quite the winner in the winter time. So very happy about that. And then the last step I'm going to put on my actual face today, and one of the worst products I thought of 2020. Mostly, I don't think these products are horrible. I just feel like they're such bad value for money because basically what Pat McGrath did was she halved the product and upped the price by like $2 on these lip vinyls that she launched. What are these called? They're called the Lip Fetish Divinely Lip Shine. And I bought a bundle because, you know, I was like, let me save some money. And I love Pat McGrath. So I bought 3 of the shades. They came in this bundle. So I have Bella More, which is like a berry shade. Then I have this one, which everybody went nuts for, Nude Venus, which is like a nude shade. I don't love nudes like that. I'm not going to lie. I wish it was more of a brown. And then I have Temptress, which is like a red. So I really don't love any of these, and I really wish I hadn't bought them because they were, I think, like $100 or something altogether. So I think I'm gonna hold on to these and try and use them as much as I can. I definitely feel like I made a mistake with these. This particular color reminds me of such a 90s lip. I don't like it. I don't like it. You can still see my natural lip color come through, and my natural lip shade is darker than this lip color, so it just looks really not cute. And if I had to compare this particular formula to something from the drugstore, I would think this is very much like the new Milani Lip Fetish, those like really cool bullets that they came out with. I'll insert a picture just so you guys know what I'm talking about, but I feel like you can get that same vibe with something from the drugstore that's way more affordable than this guy from Pat McGrath. And I would also say the sheer slicks from e.l.f., which are like $3 or $4, $6 or something, very affordable. I would highly recommend one of those instead of this very expensive formula. Okay guys, so for the worst makeup of 2020, I have to mention this Sigma Cine City Lash mascara that they sent me. I honestly just didn't think it was that great of a formula. I don't know if the one I got was just old or what it was, but I have found some great mascaras this year, and I must say this one is not for me. It doesn't really do much of anything. I guess it's nice at separating my lashes, but I love a mascara that lengthens and thickens up my lashes, and this one really does neither. Is not very spectacular. The wand is an okay shape. That's about it, and it's already transferring down here, which some of the mascaras I use on a daily basis don't do that. So I'm definitely not I'm definitely not a fan of that mascara. I feel like it is a very, very mediocre. So, okay, so then for the last step, I'm gonna use a setting spray. I just don't feel like this is worth the price for me. I've seen Britt Clark use this and it looks so beautiful on her. I feel like it's almost like she's airbrushing her face. So it's funny just how some things work better on some people than others. I feel like I'm about to spray like the last bit of oil that's just gonna send this foundation over the edge, but we are done with my face. So I have two more products I want to show you guys. Next is the Rose Decadence palette. This is the Mothership palette that she launched, I think around Valentine's Day. I picked this up, and honestly I feel like this quality is just not as good as what I'm used to. This quality just didn't feel as good, and I can't remember, I don't think this was made in, oh, it was made in the USA, whereas her 10 pan palettes are made in Italy, I do believe. So I definitely felt like there was a difference in quality, and I definitely felt like at the start of the year Pat McGrath was kind of on a roll. She was launching a lot of the same because she had just launched the original Divine Rose palette, and then she launched this one, and everyone's like, oh my god, Pat McGrath, we are so sick of you launching rose tone shades. And I'm not gonna lie, I do feel like Pat McGrath tends to like catfish us a little bit with her swatches, because her swatches look very, very pigmented. And I should know this because I've been buying from her for a while, so I shouldn't really fall for it. But I know a lot of you had commented too in my videos that you felt like the swatches weren't really true to how they looked in person. So I just want to mention that. But yeah, this is probably my least favorite Pat McGrath palette of all time, and I really regret spending the money I spent to purchase this. And this one launched the same time as these lip products, so I decided, let me go balls to the wall and buy everything. I feel like that's the one big thing about 2020 for me too, is I've learned so much about what works for me, and I've gotten so much better from 2019. I feel like 2019 Karen just kind of bought stuff because she thought it was pretty, and I feel like 2020, I know it feels like I buy a lot, you guys, but I feel like I'm so much more thoughtful about what I buy this year. And maybe if you are new to my channel, you haven't seen a difference, but for me, I've noticed a difference. I feel like from 2019 to 2020, I'm decluttering and returning a lot less. Basically, I haven't really returned anything. I maybe returned like 5 products this year, which is pretty shocking if you ask me, especially because I haven't been shopping in store. I'm shopping online, and typically it's a lot harder to like shade match and color match and know what you're gonna like without seeing it in person. So I'm pretty proud of that progress, I must say. And I feel like even though I have some products I really didn't like, for example, the Juicy Boost, I feel like a lot of these products, like, they're not the worst, you know? Whereas I'm assuming typically when you watch like the worst products of 2020, people have like disasters, like their faces broke out in hives or things like that. Whereas for me, it's just like a preference, like, oh, this foundation just really doesn't do it for me, or it might not be the right shade, or this color is not flattering to my skin tone. You know, take it all with a grain of salt. And then last but certainly not least, I had to mention this in my worst products of 2020, because let's be real, you guys were just as surprised as I was that I got an empty eyeshadow palette. It was so funny because I read one of your comments, and it was so funny because somebody literally mentioned, she's like, when has that ever happened where somebody has gotten an empty palette? And I was like, oh my gosh, so true. Like, I can't think of in the history of like me watching hours and hours of YouTube where somebody's gotten a completely empty palette from a brand. And the other thing that you guys mentioned in that particular video is How many of you from overseas had placed Give Me Glow orders for Black Friday and you're hoping that your palette doesn't arrive empty, which I feel like would be so horrible for the brand. So I'm really hoping that all of you that ordered Give Me Glow from overseas don't get an empty palette, because that will be so expensive for them to replace, but it's obviously not your fault because like you're assuming that they're gonna check every palette. So I'm hoping, I'm putting it out to the universe that you guys don't end up with an empty palette. I will say that Give Me Glow was excellent. I had emailed them and I had posted about the palette being empty on my stories, but I don't think I had tagged the brand because I didn't want it to turn into like this big circus for them. The owner had, I think, seen my story and she messaged me and she was very apologetic. And then I had the palette, the new replacement palette, in my hands by like that Friday. So it was not a big deal at all for me. But I understand if you are, you know, buying from the brand for the first time, it can be quite the bad impression, which I totally understand on your part as the consumer. So I had to mention it. It really wasn't that bad. I was really bummed that it didn't come right away because I definitely wanted to do a video with this palette, but I have my replacement. Let me show you guys the replacement, okay? So I will do a look with this palette on my channel. You guys know I have to play with the Vivid Rose, but you know what? Silver lining. I'm gonna use this to store my eyeshadow singles from Give Me Glow because that's gonna be fabulous because they have really big eyeshadow pans. So I think I'm gonna make an all green Vivid Rose palette with my singles. So something for me to look forward to. I hope you guys enjoyed this very rambly Christmas get ready with me / my worst products of 2020. What a mess. What a mess. Maybe I wasn't planning on getting rid of the Juicy Boost. I was definitely planning on keeping it. A lot of the other eyeshadow palettes I mentioned in this video were definitely fetched from my declutter because I decluttered a bunch of palettes when I filmed my eyeshadow palette collection video. So I definitely had to go into my eyeshadow bin and dig them out to talk about in this video. But I genuinely hope you guys are having a wonderful Christmas. I know it's hard for everyone this year with the way things are in the world, but I hope you guys can find some little solace in hanging out with me on YouTube and, you know, spending time with the people you love. And if you are in quarantine by yourself, listen, there are so many YouTubers out there to watch and enjoy, and Netflix, and sometimes I feel like the holidays is really what you make it. And if you want to have a good day, then just will it into the world, guys, and it'll happen. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this Christmas Get Ready With Me disaster special from me, and I can't wait to go see Angie's video because she will turn anything around, okay? So I'm sure she's got like this fabulous makeup look going on her channel. I cannot wait to see it. Please go and show her some Makeup Savage love. You guys know we love hearing from you in the comments, so please flood the comments with some Makeup Savage fam love for her, for me, and then just take care of yourself. I know it's a hard time of year. I'm thinking of all of you and wishing you guys a very Merry Christmas. I cannot wait to see what 2021 has in store for the Makeup Savage fam. I love you guys all very, very much, and I will see you in my next video. It's probably going to be on my birthday, guys. I'm kind of going to take the rest of the year a little bit easy. Vlogmas has basically killed me a little bit. So I'm going to take it easy, but I think I might post a birthday Get Ready With Me. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Otherwise, wishing you all and your families a very Merry Christmas from me to you, and I will catch you in my next video soon. Bye!